Where did last year go? Does anyone even remember details of where they were, what they did, or how they got through? It seems to me like another big blur of ups and downs, only to set us down with a thud and another tally mark on the board. Like a lot of us, I'm not really sure where my last year has gone. 2024 was home to a lot of amazing moments, a lot of lessons learned, and a lot of heartache. I've helped people. I've hurt people. I've been part of a lot of events in individuals' lives, and I can remember specific tidbits and pieces of the year, but one thing is for certain. I'm not quite happy with where I am starting this year. I'm not happy with my weight or physique, my mindset, my financial status, spiritual life, living situation, none of it. And while I do have it off very well compared to a lot of situations, I just have this gut feeling that I could be doing better. I'm sure a lot of people out there feel this way too. If it's one thing I know for certain, it's that life is always uncertain. Twists and turns are always bound to happen, and it's our responsibility to pivot and play our cards correctly. And this is exactly what I intend on doing. Welcome to the Man Project. Check one, check one. Check 1, 2, check 1. Hi. This feels really bizarre to do. I'm not really used to sitting and talking to the camera by myself. I'm always behind it, for those of you that know me. I'm here to kind of create a vlog, video essay thing to kind of help better illustrate normal life. My name is Jacob Fuchs. I am a 24-year-old man who is just trying to make it in life. I just recently moved back in with my parents of November of 2024, just to save a little extra cash and to help with some mental status that I needed to rejuvenate. I needed to recover. I needed to take care of myself like I had been lacking on doing for the past year. I am the owner of J Infinite Media LLC, a video production and photography company based out of Surprise, Arizona. And I've been very fortunate to have been running my business for over 3 years now, very successfully, with a lot of great stories and a lot of great clients, a lot of good people that I've met and worked with. And I'm extremely fortunate to have had such a good run for such a long time. Work has been slow, probably due to my own inability to keep up with a lot of things and my own inability to take care of myself. And that's a big reason as to why I'm not a fan of my financial status or where I am right now in my living situation. To give a little background on my spiritual life, I am a Christian man. I am doing my best and trying my hardest to be a follower of Christ and a believer in Jesus and God, which is still a constant struggle. I've been told many times that as a Christian you are going to struggle with that, but it's hard to give yourself the grace to even continue on thinking that. I'm always searching for churches. I believe I'm going to be trying CCV here in the next couple weeks if I can muster up the courage to do so. But one thing I do know is that the most important thing you can foster is your relationship with God, and that is a huge part of my life. There's a lot of things that are very, very important to me, namely my faith, my friends and family, the experiences that I can go and create and do, the betterment that I can put out into the world as a regular dude. And that kind of was the catalyst for why I wanted to start this Man Project. I don't have a lot of backing to it. I don't have a lot of planning, but I'm going to try it and see where it goes. So what is the Man Project? The goal of the Man Project is to highlight a normal person's life and a normal person's growth as they try to better themselves through this next upcoming year, me being that guinea pig. And the reason why I'm doing this is to really give a personal tracker to myself, for one, to see where I started and where I end, and to keep myself motivated doing this, but also to provide a perspective that I don't think a lot of people get, and I certainly didn't get, trying to better myself through this past year. And that perspective is just a normal person, seeing them go through trials and troubles. Because what you get with social media, and I'm sure I'm going to be guilty of this too, is only highlighting the really good stuff. And the way I'm going to be doing that is by creating a weekly video series, this being the first one, every single Wednesday of every week of 2025, to highlight how I'm doing, and to compare from where I started to where I am at the end of the year. Like I said, there's going to be one video per week every Wednesday, as well as a social media handle to go follow. Check that out. See, I'm doing the YouTuber thing and it doesn't click. I don't get it yet. There's going to be one YouTube video a week posted every Wednesday, with social media posts on Instagram primarily to garner a following, and to just keep a personal record of how I'm doing through this project. At the end of every month, I'm going to be doing a couple check-ins. One is going to be a physical aptitude test, and for that I'm going to be using the Army Combat Fitness Test, because that's all I really know. I'm also going to be doing a physique check-in to count for body weight, body measurements, and overall muscle growth, because I know that that's important to me. Alongside the physical, we're also going to be doing a mental check-in, which will be a video journal of how I'm feeling, hopefully using some of the filmmaking skills that I've used to portray some emotions that can't quite be said with words. Kind of coinciding with the mental check-in, we'll be doing a spiritual check-in. Going to be subjecting myself to a couple study guides and reading the Bible as often as I can to get a better understanding of who God is, the relationship that I have with Him and that we all have with Him, and to just draw closer in that relationship. I know God is real. I know God loves me. I know Jesus died for us and our sins, and I am openly willing to proclaim that. And we'll check in with all of these things right after I'm done explaining how this is going to go. So if you want to skip to that, here's a link. Go for it. And the last thing we're going to be doing is a financial check-in. I'm not quite sure how this is going to roll out or how it's going to look, but I want to be able to show myself and others the financial growth or financial downfall or wherever that seems to go. We're going to highlight that. Really, the most important thing that I want to do with the Man Project is to, again, highlight a normal person's life and a normal person's growth. I'm going to be dedicating this entire year to growing into the man that I believe I need to be, or growing into the man that I believe God has made me out to be. Of course, a lot of that is in His hands, and hopefully through this will be the awakening that I need to really get off my butt and do something. Over the past year, I've kind of struggled with a lot of overwork. I've burned myself out so many times. I've given myself a really hard time when it comes to my work or my mindset or my physique. I've been trying to break out of the self-hate sabotage thing that happens, and it really affected a lot of things towards the end of last year. And I mean, nobody was safe from the downfall that had happened. I mean, never mind me, there were a lot of people that I did wrong by. I skipped out on a lot of work. I found myself in bad situations because I didn't prepare well enough for the situations at hand. So again, if you are one of those people and you are watching, you know who you are. I apologize sincerely for the things that I've done, and I know the things that I should have done in order to maintain a positive, healthy relationship with you. I'm not going to name names because that's up to personal, private information. I'm not going to do that to people or myself, but I am truly, genuinely sorry for the things that I forgot to do and the things that I neglected. I really hope you skipped over that part, and I hope that you pressed that button way back there. But it's all part of the process. And now that we've got kind of the layout and the intro out of the way, let's just jump into our first check-in. Let's do it. All right, I am actually really nervous doing this because I'm, again, not a fan of my body or my physique or anything, but I'm just gonna kind of put it out there. I actually get really uncomfortable taking off my shirt, you know, to see my own physique, because I can't stop and look at the progress. I just kind of catch myself looking at the bad. I definitely feel heavy. I definitely feel a little bit too large. I'm not looking forward to putting my body on camera. It's really bizarre, but I figured that that's also another really uncomfortable step that needs to happen. So here we go. If you don't want to see this, here's a timestamp for you to, here, right here. Just go here. Anyway, here we go. No ifs, ands, or buts, just here we go. All right, again, so obviously I'm not feeling too great about all this. When I was in high school, I was 265 pounds my sophomore year, and that was due to a lot of things like a heart problem that kept me from exercising or allowing me to kind of explore physical exercise, and that's kind of led to this right here. I know a lot of people are into the dad bod, but I certainly am not. I definitely have a good amount of muscle growth underneath all of this tissue. I mean, my biceps are fairly big. My pecs, I definitely need to work on. My back, I'm fairly proud of, and my legs are genetically okay. They're pretty damn okay. The amount of body fat that I have is not ideal to where I want to be, so that's something I'm gonna have to work on. And we can't forget, of course, the scale check. You see that? You see that junk? Oh God. And we can't forget the scale check. So we are going to go and check on our weight. POV style. Okay, so let's see. Can I get this to work? Yes, I'm going to blur out the dogs. Here we go. That is 259.6. I am back to where I was sophomore year of high school. And that's not good. That's not good at all. And while I could be doing something about that right now, chances are I'm probably going to be eating pizza because it's New Year's. And that's what I'm doing. I don't know why, but that's what I'm doing. Okay. Next up is the mental check-in. I feel like I'll just handle this as if I was writing in a journal. If I had to rate the day, it would probably be a 2 or 3 out of 5. A lot of really good things have happened, and I acknowledge that, and I know this, but still, you know, it's hard for me to feel good about a lot of things, especially when I'm reflecting so hard on a lot of stuff in the past. I definitely know that I can be doing better on a lot of things, and you know, a lot of people tell me that it's, you know, either like an imposter syndrome thing or just poor self-image, and I don't disagree. But the fact still remains that I'm trying to feel good. I'm trying to feel happy, and I think trying to feel happy is probably part of the issue. I don't know, not quite sure. My plan is to also have a lot of subject matter experts join me on this journey. I want to do a lot of interviews and commentary with professionals in their field, whether that's a pastor for spiritual life or a physical fitness coach for creating better habits for myself physically. I'm not feeling great. I don't feel bad, but I know I could be feeling better. Generally, my happiness levels are lower nowadays after coming up out of that slump that I was in. As for my spiritual check-in, I'll just start off with a fun game that I like to play. It's much less of a game and more of an attempt to, feel connected to God. Grab my Bible. This is not an OnlyFans. Something that I really like to do, I'm going to pull all of the papers out of my Bible here. Something that I really like to do is to play something called Bible Roulette. I've seen it a couple places. I wish I could give credit to the right people, but I'm sure that people have done this before me. But what I like to do is I will flip through pages until I feel it's right to stop. And the goal of that being to listen and tune in with God and let Him tell you when to stop. Let Him tell you when it's right and surrender to that feeling without overthinking it, which are things that I already do. So we're going to give this a shot. And then after you're done flipping through the page, you roll your fingers down and again feel for that moment. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and that really all just depends on how spiritually connected you feel. And it seems that we have landed in Job, surprisingly, just so I can prove that I'm not messing around. I'll try to, right there, and we are in Job. Interesting. Job chapter 21. Is that good? Okay, so we are in Job chapter 21, verse 3. Here we go. Bear with me, and I will speak, and after I have spoken, mock on. As for me, is my complaint against man? Why should I not be impatient? Look at me and be appalled, and lay your hand over my mouth. When I remember, I am dismayed, and shuddering seizes my flesh. Why do the wicked live, reach old age, and grow mighty in power? Their offspring are established in their presence, and their descendants before their eyes. Their houses are safe from fear, no rod of God is upon them. Their bull breeds without fail, their cow calves and does not miscarry. They send out their little boys like a flock, and their children dance. They sing to the tambourine and the lyre and rejoice to the sound of the pipe. They spend their days in prosperity, and in peace they go down to Sheol. I think that's how it's pronounced here. It's how it's actually pronounced.
Sheol.
Cool. They say to God, "Depart from us. We do not desire the knowledge of your ways. What is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit do we get if we pray to him? Behold, is not their prosperity in their hand? The counsel of the wicked is far from me. How often is it that the lamp of the wicked is put out, that their calamity comes upon them, that God distributes pains in his anger, that they are like straw before the wind, that they are like straw before the wind, and like chaff that the storm carries away. You say, God stores up their iniquity for their children. Let him pay it out to them, that they may know it. Let their own eyes see their destruction, and let them drink of the wrath of the Almighty. For what do they care for their houses after them, when the number of their months is cut off? Will any teach God knowledge, seeing that he judges those who are on high? One dies in his full vigor, being wholly at ease and secure, his pails full of milk and the marrow of his bones moist. Another dies in bitterness of soul, having never tasted of prosperity. They lay down alike in the dust, and the worms cover them. Behold, I know your thoughts and your schemes to wrong me. For you say, where is the house of the prince? Where is the tent in which the wicked lived? Have you not asked those who travel the roads, and do you not accept their testimony, that the evil man is spared in the day of calamity, and he is rescued in the day of wrath? Who declares his way to his face, and who repays him for what he has done? When he is carried to the grave, watch is kept over his tomb. The clods of the valley are sweet to him. All mankind follows after him, and those who go before him are innumerable. How then will you comfort me with empty nothings? There is nothing left of your answers but falsehood. So Job chapter 21, I've essentially read the whole chapter. Really, it emphasizes Job's understanding of how wicked people really do get away with a lot of things. Bad stuff doesn't happen to bad people all the time. And it just further grows his sense of unfairness to life and the world. But it's kind of just how it all goes. A pretty good reflection of how I felt sometimes through the past, year, about why is it that issues befall good people, and I hesitate to put myself in the good people realm, but it also kind of shows a light of when I was doing really, really well. Was I following God, or was I just reaping the rewards of some other power that was not in it for my best interest? I had traveled numerous places. I had met basically all of the people that I've wanted to meet for a long, long time. It really surprised me to find myself in the spots that I did. There was always a twinge in the back of my mind saying, you don't deserve this, you're not meant to be here. And I've since, kind of gotten rid of that idea, but at the same time, no matter how far up I have gone, I have to remember where I came from, and that is to serve God, and that is to be a good man first and foremost. And I think I had gotten too ahead of myself. I had done too much work. I had done too much forgetting of that I landed myself in my spot right here, because God needed me to come back and remember that it's not about the fame, fortune, the glory. It's not about me. I am here to serve God, and I am here to serve other people and love other people as God would love them. Because what are we supposed to be if not just reflections of God's love? I think that kind of sums up the point of Bible Roulette, and that's where I'm going to leave the spiritual check-in for now. I will have better questions later on, I believe, and if you are curious to know things or curious to ask me questions to check in on me, comment down below and just let me know what you think. So as for the financial stuff, I'm not quite sure how I want to handle it yet. I could always just give rough figures, but even then it's a little too personal. But I'm going to kind of just give examples of maybe some financial burdens or successes that I've had throughout the week. As of now, I am kind of living off of gift cards. I was gifted a lot of gift cards from my parents, thank the Lord, this Christmas, and I've been using that to get a lot of my purchases to eat. As of now, I've bagged a couple clients that are well paying. I have a lot of jobs that I need to catch up on due to how my mental state was last year. And once those are resolved, I will be very happy to take new work. I'm thinking about picking up a 9-to-5 or a part-time job to just suffice and get the gas money. It's really hard admitting all of these things. But again, this is for a true, transparent look into someone's normal life as they grow. So don't feel ashamed or demoralized, perhaps, by where you are, because it's not a race. It's just where you're at in your life right now. Another horrible habit that I have is comparing myself to others. That's certainly something that I am working on, and I can't help but, have that happen, especially in the financial sector of my life. I'm doing okay. I'm taking care of myself. I have a roof over my head. I've got food to eat, and I've got a family that cares about me. Hopefully this grows, and it comes with a level of respect rather than a level of mistreatment, like I've been handling my finances prior to this. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, I'm not really going to be able to improv this quite yet. I have my treatment out, and I'm just going to read off what I wrote because I know that this is what I wanted to say. So all in all, I really just want to use this as a weekly personal tracker for myself, but also as a window into the life of an imperfect guy trying to make it in an imperfect world without all the fake facade of social media. I want to use my medium of filmmaking to better reflect the deeper feelings that can't quite be described with words. And I want to force myself to do something uncomfortable and stimulate growth. I want to leave a good mark on my reputation, and an even better mark on the hearts and minds of those who I have been involved with. If you'll join me and stick by to see the growth, I hope it can help all of us get back on the same page and let us feel a little bit better at the end of 2025. So, bye for now, and I will see you next week.